sitting there telling people your opinion. What the fuck's wrong with you?
Man, what? I don't really give a shit. I gotta be real. And if these motherfuckers can't stand real, then I don't give a shit. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Takedownman, and I am back with another episode today. And on this episode, folks, I am going to talk about why parents should pull their kids out of school and basically why people should drop out of the public school education system. Yes, this is not going to be a very popular video, as I already know, so yeah, it's just gonna be what it is. Either way, though, guys, we're gonna go ahead and jump into it with reasons you should drop out of school. That's right. I'm really asking for it on these videos. But anyways, all right, the first thing is, yes, while you are in kindergarten and stuff, maybe up to third grade, your imagination is welcome. They tell you to think for yourself, to imagine everything possible, and to put it into your life and involve it. However, once you get to that spot to where you're in like third or fourth grade, suddenly they ask for it less and less and less and less until finally they got you in this fucking box to where you no longer are allowed to have an imagination or an opinion other than that of what the teachers are teaching. And those who do often get ridiculed, bullied, and everything else just because they're different. Another problem that I personally have with our school systems is the fact that not everyone learns at the same level and not everyone learns in the same way. Now, as most of you know, unless if you're going to like a special school, most public schools are overcrowded, to say the least. And teachers do not have the necessary skills to work with every student. And most of the time, they do not work with students who cannot learn the way that they want to teach everybody. It's just that simple. They just don't do it. And this causes like separation between people, from like those who learn the way that the teacher wants to teach and those who don't, which causes those people to kind of get shunned out of the way and to start being bullied. But not just being bullied by the teacher per se, but also, or not just being bullied by the students, but also by the teacher. The teacher starts to bully the student. And unfortunately, it becomes a very vicious circle. Now, I remember whenever I was younger, I got bullied quite a bit. And I fought, though. That was the difference. I fought, but I still got bullied. And I would get bullied by the teacher who had the ultimate authority to do whatever she was going to do. And I remember one time coming back from having pneumonia, and she made me stand outside in the snow, like literally the same day that I come back, because she just didn't like me. And she told me that she didn't like me. And one of the kids made a comment about something. I can't remember what it is to this day. It really doesn't matter now. But what did matter was the way the teacher reacted, because that was one of her favorite students. I kind of got up and pushed the desk back, and I was ready to roll. And she goes, "Get out of my classroom." Well, instead of telling that kid to leave me be, she would let them do things like that. And it apparently hasn't changed much since I was younger. And I went through this for years and years and years. And my reason for not really doing well in school up until I was about 13 years old was because I was being abused by my stepdad. People were not very nice to me. I would get beat at home, and then I couldn't concentrate at school because I was worried about, what this alcoholic stepfather that I had was going to do to me whenever I got home. So I was always worried, and I was always scared of what beating was going to be next and why, if there was even going to be a reason this time, or if there wasn't, or if it was because I burped at the wrong time, or because I stepped on a creaky part of the floor and it creaked and he didn't like it. it was just a lot of variables going on. And instead of somebody actually wanting to help me, they basically just fucked with me over and over again. So, with that being said, when nobody's nice to you, unfortunately, it opens you up to those who will be nice to you. And yeah, we all know how that one turned out with a deacon at a church. The only nice person to me was the same person who took advantage of that situation. So, with that being said, things like the separation in school can lead to bullying, which can lead a child to look for help, even in the lives of a person who may actually hurt them worse mentally than the physical and emotional hurt that they suffer now. So, also, rich kids, poor kids, kids from the hood, kids from the suburbs. It teaches you, yes, how to interact with each other, or does it? Because from what I've noticed, schools have school zones. And even once kids mix from one school zone to another and they start going to high school, like in my high school, they still try to separate you as much as possible because you're from two different worlds and they don't want you knowing about the other person's world. So school really does teach separation. School is one of the first places that teaches you separation between the rich and the poor. And yeah, as much as a lot of people may not agree, it does. Not every school is the same, though. I understand that, but this is most public schools. Now, also, school does not teach you any real world application. Knowing things such as Shakespeare is not going to land you a job making $50,000 a year or better. Okay, it's really not. It's not going to land you a job. It's not going to, like, let's say you want to be a zookeeper or whatever. It's not going to teach you anything you need to know. Biology and stuff like that, it does teach you some things, but not really. Not really. And, I mean, I don't really know why, like, we have, like, New Mexico history and Oklahoma history and Virginia history and Florida history. I don't understand those classes. Why the fuck do I need to know Oklahoma history or New Mexico history if I have no plans on being a historian, for one, and two, living there? It just doesn't really fucking matter to me. This is what I need to learn is like how to survive in this world. What am I good at in this world? How am I going to make a living in this world? They don't teach you about fatherhood. They don't teach you, you know, they hope that your parents are going to teach you that. And a lot of times, if there was no school system like this set up, the parents would have to teach their kids, and maybe they could learn to be fathers and mothers and, you know, good people in life. But yeah, unfortunately, this is not what we're being taught nowadays. You do get better training in the real world. Now, this does not include technical schools. I am talking about public schools. Public schools that just teach regular curriculum over and over again. They also do not teach you the law. They do not teach you things you need to know outside of the school. And like I said before, they just don't encourage imagination. There are not enough entrepreneurs in this world because everybody's taught to fit into this box. And you can't fit into a box and be an entrepreneur at the same time. If you're going to be an entrepreneur and you're going to run something and you're going to make a great living, you kind of have to think outside the box. And that's just how it works. You know, most people who make good money on YouTube and are real famous on YouTube are not exactly people who think inside the box. They think outside that box, and they were people who probably got bullied a lot. So that's just kind of how it is. And the ones who didn't, you can normally tell because, well, yeah, they're still on YouTube, just, yeah, trying to make it on their looks. You know who you are. But yeah, so pretty much though, guys, that's just kind of my take on it. That's just a few reasons out of so many why I think that people should drop the schools and parents should start teaching their kids. And I understand a lot of people are like, well, I can't afford to teach my kids. I got to work 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 hours a week. However, if we set up a system like this, the powers that be would make it good for us. However, they want your kids in school because then they can teach them to listen and abide and sit down and shut up and never question authority. So yeah, it's kind of one of them catch-22s, and it's a sad but true fact. Being a polygamist and stuff, it actually does help if you do that with your kids because you have more adults at home who can actually help teach, train, and whatnot. So we've had to do it, trust and believe, because schools are not for every kid. I'm sorry, they're just not. And with that being said, guys, before I piss off anybody else, which I hope I do, but I can't really think of shit else to say right now. It's like fucking 6 in the morning, and yeah, late as fuck apparently. So either way though, guys, it's your boy Takedownman just saying thanks so much for watching. Peace out. Mahalo. And hopefully my camera didn't turn out too much like shit. And I will talk to you next time.